Gold Dimers, it's me, it's Janice. Here's your first video, and we're gonna be talking about spending. Smart spending habits. What are smart spending habits? For a lot of us, if we were to ask the question, are you a good spender or a bad spender? We'd probably say,
a good spender.
A pretty good spender.
There are things that we can all do to improve our spending habit. First things first. Budget. For what it's worth, it just makes you look at how much money you have. Sometimes when we're afraid to deal with something, we do this thing called ignore it.
Not great.
Frustrated yet.
I know I should have one, but I don't.
Very frustrated, but
Interesting question.
developing relationship.
I am on and off in terms of the word budget.
Oh, think about that.
So budgeting, if for no other reason, is really good because it forces you to sit down, see how much money you actually have, at least write it down, and then write out the expenses that you have. So think of it this way. Your budget is going to be divided into two columns. The first column is going to have all of your expenses. The other column is going to be how much money you have coming in every month. This way you can see exactly where your money is going. The most important thing is you can see what the difference is after you've paid all of your expenses, how much money you actually have to live off of. I'm going to challenge you guys. There are some things that I bet you didn't know will actually help you become better, smarter spenders. First, did you know that being a more generous person is actually really helpful? Not only to create consistency, but it forces you to be mindful of your earnings and your budget. It also teaches you what the purpose of money is. Money is simply going to get you things that you want, but to have the kind of life that you want to live, you just have to live a certain way. Reframe the way that you look at money, see it as a means to achieve your purpose instead of a means to achieve things. Plain and simple. Being a generous person, meaning you dedicate a small portion of your monthly earnings to an organization or to an effort of your choice, is actually really important. Talking about the expense list. Remember I talked about the two columns, one on the left, one on the right. An organization that you really trust and that you really believe in should be right at the top of that list. Second thing that should go on that list, saving for an emergency. According to Dave Ramsey, who's one of my financial gurus, it suggests $1,000. Not that you do it all at once if you don't have it all at once, but that should most definitely be your goal. Once you've achieved that, then you can replace putting money into an emergency fund with another kind of savings account. But until you have an emergency fund, you should dedicate funds to that. So we've got a generous gift, an emergency fund, until you get to $1,000. And the third thing is going to be debt. Paying off debt. There is actually a very important component for students and millennials of this time to incorporate that into their regular spending habits. Finally, it's advised that you actually invest about 15% of your earnings or your income per month. For students, that seems outrageous. I mean, by the time I've gotten through all of these, I don't have any more money left. What you can do is divide it such that even if they're minimal, like a dime, they can still be dedicated to things that are important. They're going to teach you good spending habits. So I bet you're thinking, how are you teaching me how to be a better spender if basically you're telling me to spend more money on more things? I'm actually telling you to spend more money on yourself and on your future. And what I mean by yourself, I mean the life that you really believe in. That is to say, you're contributing towards a greater cause. You are also putting money towards your future. You are saving for an emergency or something that may be important to you. And all of those things are just really good ideals and principles to have. And really, that's the beginning and the end of spending really well and having good spending habits. Rethink how